Hey, I'm Mikey B from MT Warning. We are at the Aussie BBQ at South by Southwest in Austin with the AU Review.
Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to Texas.
Holy Jesus Lord, it's good to be here. This is a wild little town.
How has the week treated you?
There's been ups, there's only been ups. You'd think each morning could be trouble, but you find a taco, you find a street, you hear some old blues or country or death metal. Everything is playing at once in this amalgamation of sounds. It's good.
It's a bit overwhelming. I mean, what was kind of your experience like the first time you walked down 6th Street, music coming out of every door, every orifice?
It was like, for me, I'm not, like when I listen to music, I really like to focus on it. So it was like listening to Sonic vomit. And I think I almost just like had a seizure and fell over. Because it's like, you can hear about 10 bands at once, all playing their hearts out, because they're here for a myriad of reasons. So it was pretty overwhelming, but we found a local who took us straight out to the East 6th, and everything gets a bit lower and a bit quieter, and a few smaller bars there, so that felt a bit more like home.
Let's talk about your music and kind of, what the Americans are getting to listen to while you're over here. What's kind of making up your set? Because obviously you're getting very small chunks of time to show yourself off.
It is, yeah. They are tight sets, but it's funny. I've just been letting it play out as I've kind of we're not writing a set list before. We've got, a whole album's worth of material to play within 30 minutes, but it's kind of, each room just begs for a different sound and a different song, so I'm just calling it as we go, and the boys are just following along. I'll just start and they'll be like, all right, let's do this now.
Is there anything that seems to be particularly resonating with American audiences?
Our live sound is working down here. Like it's, because we lean to a bit of alt country when we on some songs, and there's a lot of rock and roll. And it's what we make is pretty dynamic music, so everything's kind of working. We'll start something that's kind of laid back, but then we build up our loops and our big wall of noise, and then it's just like a big shred. So it seems to work for everyone in a time.
After Texas, are you touring more around the States, or do you head back home?
Yeah, we did a week in New York before we got here, so that was good to freeze our asses off. But, super fun, just seeing the city, soaking in inspiration. And from Austin, we go to LA for a week and check it out there. Maybe hit the ocean, and I like LA. You sit in cars and see stuff, and you go to Hollywood and you think up big plans, maybe write a movie, all that sort of stuff.
And of course, we're sitting here at the Aussie BBQ. What does it mean to be amongst some incredible Australian bands in this intimate and stunning setting? It's
I feel really humbled and honoured that the guys would have us on as part of the showcase of Australian music here. There's a lot of bands in general here, but a lot of Aussie bands as well. So it's fun to see what everyone's been up to. There's a lot of friends that don't get to see a lot around the country. Tours miss each other, so we just get a day together to all catch up and let loose.
It's almost like a bit of a reunion.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and you just want to see and support all your friends. So we're gonna cook it up.
On the topic of South by, have you gotten to see anyone that's really jumped out at you? Or have you been too busy?
We've been rolling around, and you sort of fall in and out of venues. But last night it had like a moment. It was crazy. We were just walking home down the East 6th Street, and we just saw this red light in this caravan, and there was this girl in there, and she had this like tiny piano about this big, and this soul mama voice, and she was just sitting there singing the most amazing classic songs. She's got her hat out, trying to just get some tips up to get gas to go back to New Orleans.
Wow.
And me and my drummer, Vinny LaDuce, we just stood there for ages, and she kept like sneaking moonshine whiskey out the side, and it was like, it was the most incredible thing I've seen. It was beautiful.
You never know what you're going to find here, do you?
Yeah. Every corner is oozing with some sort of sound.
It's a good way to put it. I love oozing. It's very, very typical of South by Southwest.
It's got to be visual. I've never heard music so visual before as all just. It's kind of like the food here.
Yeah.
Anything goes.
Have you had any particular highlights for the food?
The Tacos are saving the day every morning. We found the East Tamale tacos, and they're like $1.50, and it's amazing. you only need one, but you always get two, and you just look at it and go, but it's heaven.
A lot of people think that about Texan food, and I'm glad you agree. So, any advice that you'd give to a first timer at South by Southwest now that you've done the ropes?
Be prepared. It's not just a town with a lot of gigs. You're in a festival. I guess I didn't realize that till a few days in. So you need your festival preparation on. You need to know where you're going to charge your phone. You need to know where you're going to go to the bathroom. You need to know what you're going to see. Like all the little bits. That's important. As a band, just come in and make some noise and hang out with as many people as possible and be yourself, be friendly, and just get amongst it. Dive deep.
When you get back to Australia, what's next for you? Or are you getting back to Australia?
We will get back there eventually. We're back in a few weeks and play some shows. We get this record launched, and then we've got to shoot off to Canada, and then back to the States, and then
Are you doing Canadian Music Week?
We are. We're heading up for that. So Canadian Music Week will be super fun, and then when we played in New York, some girls drove down from Montreal to see the show. So they've hooked us up a whole list of venues to come over there. So
in Montreal?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
So we might do the trek from Toronto over to Montreal. Anything could happen. We're excited about being there.
That seems to be the mantra of the year for you. Anything could happen. Let's take it.
And it generally does.
Yeah.
It always happens. Yeah.
Well, it's a very exciting time for you, and I hope the Aussie BBQ goes well for you today. And then after the Aussie BBQ, are you done now?
Yeah, we did 2 shows here today. And then we might look for some sleep.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having us, man.